Good morning, brothers and sisters. How are you going today? Have you smiled to the Lord? Are you happy when you think of His closeness with you? We have to rely on the Lord with our courageous faith every day, according to your status, to live a perfect life. You don't have to compare with others. We are all growing spiritually. Don't fancy yourself. If you have something that is not good enough, don't be disappointed. Continue to practice for improvement. We have to be kind to yourself. Treat yourselves according to your situation. We are all very different. We cannot be perfect in every aspect. The most important is to believe in the words of God. Take up the shield of faith to extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one. If you only take up a paper shield of the feeling, you'll be hurt by the flaming darts of the enemies. The devils will make use of the feelings or emotion to harm us. We will be easily misled or affected by our feeling, which was based on our wrong concepts. Even our wisdom and judgment will be affected. What should we do? We have to trust the word in the Bible wholeheartedly. Believe in His words totally, then we can overcome the devil and rejoice in it. We shall be in peace and enjoy the appreciation of the Lord. In Song of Solomon, the book is filled with appreciation from the Lord. Those words are from the bottom of His heart. That is what we need most from our spirit. Therefore, we shall read Song of Solomon when you have time, and you can just read 1 or 2 words, so that we're living in these precious truths. We can understand how the Lord appreciates us. Our spiritual life will get much help. If you easily be accused, easily disturbed by the shadows or bad thoughts, I strongly advise you to read Song of Solomon every day. You'll surely get help a lot. Or you can sing the hymns, especially with the contents in Song of Solomon. The hymns about the Lord is our beloved will help you a lot. Hope we have the courageous faith to enjoy the infinite acceptance and love from the Lord. May the Lord bless you. The verses I'd like to share with you is in Acts chapter 21 verse 13. And it says, Then Paul answered, What are you doing? Weeping and breaking my heart? For I'm ready not only to be imprisoned, but even to die in Jerusalem for the name of the Lord Jesus. According to Acts chapter 19, the third journey of Paul in Ephesus, before Demetrius the silversmith has stirred up the disturbance, he has already wanted to return to Jerusalem to report how he built up the church among the Gentiles and their situation. In Acts chapter 20, in Miletus, he sent the disciples to Ephesus and asked the elders to come to say farewell, and said to them many words of encouragement. He also mentioned, None of you will see my face again. That makes the elders in Ephesus in deep sorrow. They knelt down on the shore and prayed. They even embraced Paul and kissed him and wept bitterly. Paul seems to know beforehand that he didn't have a chance to see the elders in Ephesus again. He ended up getting caught in Jerusalem and was delivered to Rome in a prison. After he was discharged from the prison in Rome, he has no chance to see the elders in Ephesus again. Paul was killed for the name of the Lord later on. Paul felt that he would be in deep trouble and things would happen in Jerusalem. Paul didn't mind about his life at that time. He didn't care about his life, and he was on the front line to preach among the Gentiles. If Paul returned to Jerusalem, The rumors were everywhere which the people would set up. It was actually very dangerous, but Paul didn't turn back at all. I give thanks to the Lord. The apostles in the first century has offered themselves gloriously to preach the glorious gospel. They have left to us the beautiful feet. In chapter 21, Paul lived in the house of Philip. The brothers and sisters didn't want Paul to go to Jerusalem. They were weeping and urged him not to go. You see the heart of Paul? He was so determined and answered, "What are you doing? Weeping and breaking my heart?" He was willing to be caught or die at Jerusalem for the name of the Lord Jesus. This is the determination of a man who wanted to preach the gospel. That makes my heart so touched as well. We shall preach for the Lord without fear. We might not be saved if those people are not exist. I'd like to tell you a story. There was an extensive knowledge British noble who was so arrogant, and he was not believing God. He saw a tribal chief who was a devoted Christian during his trip in Africa. Then he persuaded him and said, "Chief, you are a great leader, but you're so naive. How come you listen to the missionaries to believe in Jesus? All they want is to get some benefit from you. Many people nowadays don't believe in the Bible. This world is well civilized now. The Christians are nothing." The chief heard his conversation. The tears came out from his eyes. His hand has pointed to the cooking stove. At the side of the stove has some trace of blood. The chief talked to this noble and said, "We have used this stove in the past. Can you see the tracing of blood around it? This stove was used to cook the flesh of man. We make a big feast for my people to eat. If the missionaries didn't preach to us by risking their lives, if they didn't bring this Bible to preach to us the Lord Jesus, we are still the tribals of eating people. You said they want to seek benefit from us. Do you know these missionaries had died in our hands? But they didn't give up. You said being Christian is nothing." This noble touched his head, and it's still there. The chief continued, "If we are not yet believing Jesus, all of you, including your head, will be in my tummy." Brothers and sisters, throughout the ages, there were many touching stories. Many offered their life to God and away from their hometown or countries. They preached the gospel of the Lord Jesus to the point they even risked their lives. Brothers and sisters, let us be a person of bringing good news and proclaims the Lord's salvation. How beautiful is their feet. May the Lord bless us to preach the gospel to all lands.